Eagles fly. Let's peep the squad. Big Pat shelling Dante the dark child. Drop the stats on him. Drop the facts on him. Spur King, baby. Let's get it on.
Hey, fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight, and welcome to this season of Eagles Talk. We've been going all season. We usually don't do that. We're usually a year-round podcast, but a lot of things going on, so we decided to take the off-season off. We put in time just like the team put in time, and it was a grueling season on our way, yes, our way, to a Super Bowl victory. So we kind of took this off-season to recuperate so that we can come back with that same energy. You guys can come back with that same energy, and hopefully we can root our Eagles on to consecutive Super Bowl championships. I am looking so forward to this upcoming season. We're not going to be here past 8 o'clock because if you're an Eagles fan, you know that they do the recap of the season tonight. So that's going to be that's must-watch TV. I got my popcorn ready. I got to be in front of the TV. So we're going to be out of here by 8 o'clock. What's up, people? What's up, Pat? Welcome, Pat. What's going on?
What's up? It is great to be seen. First and foremost, let me do one thing. Shout out to my lovely wife. Happy anniversary, babe. As you can see, we got these shirts made. And we are going to the game tomorrow. That's the anniversary gift, along with some seafood to sit back. That I got to sit back and watch this documentary of our 2024 Eagles that come on at 8. Listen, man, I'm pumped. I'm ready. I'm ready to rock and roll. The season is here. We waited 80 something days, 264 days, I think it was, to get this game going. Like I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm pumped, and let's get going.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I am definitely with you on that. So let's talk about it. We haven't been here in a long time, so we'll pick it up from training camp. We know what happened in the off season. We know who left. We talked about that a little bit. You know, we went over that a little bit on our season, our scheduling. We did have a show when the schedule was released. We went through the season and all that, so we know all the off season moves. Let's pick it up from training camp up until this point here. Training camp was, from what I'm hearing, was okay. Was nothing dynamic, and I don't know if we need to hear dynamic news from camp, but we did, at least I did, enjoy hearing Jalen's escapades or performance in last year's training camp. Not that it really carried over into the season because he wasn't asked to pass a whole lot during that regular season. But as we know, when it came down to the biggest games of the season, he performed, and he performed at a very, very high level. So we didn't hear any of that coming out of this training camp. We didn't hear Jalen setting any completion records and passer rating records in training camp or anything like that. And I am so we're not coming out of this training camp with the same high as last year. The high that I have is just my anticipation as a fan to watch my championship football team get back on the field. That's the anticipation and the good feeling I have. But listening to the reports coming out of training camp, these are some of the concerns I have. Number one, I've always had a concern about the offense because although we're returning most of our championship offense from last year, I point to our signal caller, our play caller this year, and I just don't know what he is going to do because I've never seen him call plays. And the last time we had a situation like this where I was leery, it proved to be a disaster. I hope that is not a disaster. I'm kind of, of course I'm rooting for the guy, but I just don't know what kind of game he calls because he's never called a game. So I don't know what this offense is going to look like. I'm imagining that it's going to be a lot of what we saw last year, but the rhythm of play calling is definitely an art and definitely a skill. And I don't know if this guy has that yet until I see it. So that was always my concern going in, right? But to add to that concern, this offensive unit has not played a lot in training camp. Normally, I don't worry about it because, I don't worry about them not playing in the preseason game because I know they're getting to work in training camp. But this year's a little different because they haven't gotten a lot of work together in training camp. Either AJ was out or Dante was out or they were resting Barkley. So I didn't hear of a lot of reps of our core first team offense during training camp, which to me means, and I've always had this belief, that the month of September is going to be an extended training camp.
I mean, to be honest with you, we need training camp because we didn't start the quarter.
Oh yeah, we are. we got one day to get in shape because we are. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. You are watching, listening to Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles cover show around. That's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, that is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So I don't even have a shot on me. I don't even have.
Don't worry, I got you.
All right. Okay. Well, you do that. All right.
Wilford
So
Reserve, the championship Wilford Reserve. How about that?
yeah, the championship Wilford Reserve. I have to. Okay. All right. So here we go. Everybody, to our Philadelphia Eagles, our champion, our Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to take the first toast of the year. So down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the You're now listening to the
Yeah, so to answer some of those concerns, I have the same concerns too. Normally we don't agree. Sometimes I say your concerns. I think we'd be all right. You know, Jalen Hurts is leading the ship. He's the general of this ship. But you know what? They haven't practiced a lot together. As offensive coordinator, yes, he is a new to offensive coordinator, Kevin Petrudo, but he has been in the system for 2 years, I believe it was. So he's familiar with talking with Jalen Hurts and being on the offensive side. But again, that's different from actually calling the plays. Like we had confidence in Brian Johnson because he was the quarterback coach who resurrected Jalen Hurts, and we felt confident in him. I'm getting almost the same feeling. Like, yeah, we felt confident in him, but at the same time, he was never proven. Kevin Petrudo, he's not proven. And this offense all hinders on what this offensive coordinator could put forth. The second thing I'm concerned about now, since you bring up a little bit of concerns, is the secondary. I can understand why we got rid of CJ, not really. To a certain extent, he was, even though he was pretty much like the heartbeat of that secondary in coverage, he wasn't that great. But it's something like having that veteran experience in the backside on the back end of the field to support our young rookies and support our young defensive backs. I felt secure when we let Darius Slay go and still had CJ. I said all we needed was another corner. Now it's like, all right, one half of the field is up for grabs. Adoree Jackson's going to be starting at one corner. You got Sidney Brown is going to be starting the safety with Andrew McCuba, the rookie, mixing in some variations. You're going to have Cooper DeJean playing nickel, who at times he may move back down to safety. I don't like that indecisiveness, and that can hinder us. Now, the good thing about it, like you said, Dark Knight, that first week is like extended training camp for us. And the first game against the Dallas Cowturds is extended training camp. Because they did something that we never expect them to do. They got rid of the best player on the team. Not Dak, not CD. Their heartbeat on defense, Michael Parsons. Listen, when he's on the field, it makes everything else easier for every single defensive player there. But we're talking about the Eagles' concerns. We're not worrying about the Dallas Cowturds. So that's.
Oh, I'm worried. I just want to give a shout out, and may God continue to bless Jerry Jones and his health. Lord, please give him longevity and keep him in his, not his right mind, but just keep him alive, Father, because we love what he is doing with the Cowturds down there. I just love it. So please, I'm praying over And this is a genuine concern. I want him to be around as long as he can possibly be around. So,
Amen.
we're going to do that. Yes, you have heard the news that this idiot got rid of their best player. Yeah, their best player, and it's his own fault, and he deserves it. He waited too long. He paid top dollar to his other 2 stars, and you can't, in this league, the salary cap is everything.
It is.
And had they been forced to pay him his worth, that would have been 3 players that would have taken up about 80% of their salary cap. Roughly. Like they would have they couldn't do it. That's why Jerry wanted to negotiate just with Parsons, with Micah, so he can get a sweet deal. But Micah, thank you for being a smart guy and knowing that the talks that you and Jerry had were just that, talks that you really needed professional representation, and kudos to you for doing that. Let me go to some comments here because everybody's in the room, and I'm just as excited to see you guys as you are to see us. We are missing the queen of Eagles Talk, but as you can see, she is in the chat room. And I'll put her message up here first. Hey, be back before you can say Dallas sucks. All right. That's great. Jeremiah says, damn it, didn't know we was on today, so I guess I'll shoot this cut water. Yeah, let me see the first person in the room, too. Miss Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones. She's the first person in the room. Hey, Mrs. Jones. Hey, fam. I'm so excited for the new season. Go Bird. Our man JT is in the house. Yo, F the
What up, JT?
You know that. What's up, JT? Keith Jack's dad's Dante's in the house. Let's go, Dante. And I forgot Deion Jones. And let me just give a shout out to Deion Jones, our new quality control person for the group Eagles Talk. He is the one that polices the fake news, and we've had to suspend or put one of our very own, near and dear to our heart, but he had to be stopped, and Deion called him out, rightfully so. He had to be stopped. I admittedly was lax on my job, not paying attention to the post as I should have, but Deion was there, our new QC control person, and he was there calling out all the fake posts that Shelman puts up. Look, anybody that's in the group, you know how important it is to post real, true Eagles news. Correct. Right? You guys know that, and you're the fans, right? We are de facto media. We should really be careful about what kind of news we post. And I apologize because our part-time co-host now, Shelman, was just going crazy. I don't know what he was doing. He must have had some of that down south water when he was.
He didn't have none. We drunk it all. Shout out to Levi and the family.
But he must have had some of that down south country water because he was posting stuff, and I would look at the headline and immediately know that this is fishy. You know what I mean?
It's AI generated. Oh, he went to this hospital and saved all the cancer patients. Like, so what are you
doing? Just all you have to do is do a simple check and you would see. Like, ask Google. Please, is this true? But we thank you. We thank you, Deion. So we have Shell's posts have to come through me now. I have to read them before I allow them. So we won't have that anymore. We don't have that.
We love you, Shell. We still love you, though.
Yeah, we do love you, Shell. Shell was mad. I'm gonna be for real. Shell was mad. He called me. He texted me like, "You said we don't put our business out." I said, "Excuse me, Shell. We play with each other like this. When do we stop playing with each other like this? Are you kidding me?" But anyway, Rachel is out there. She says, "Jalen adopting a baby took me out." Yeah, Shell had it all down there. He had it all down there. Leave Shell be. JT, you saying leave Shell be? You want some more of that, the fake news? I was about to send them over there with Trump and them. Look. So anyway, all right. So getting back to my concern, because I'm still concerned about the play calling and all that. I'm concerned about the rust that may be on the offensive side of the ball. Right.
Yeah.
I am surprisingly, I have the same concerns that you do on defense, but for some reason, and I'll just be frank with it. That reason being, our coordinator, that reason being Vic Fangio. I have a sense of calm about the defense coming around. Now, I do expect that it may take them a couple weeks to get on the same page because there's so many new moving parts in that defense. But because of Vic alone, I just have the confidence that they're going to get it together. And I don't know if they are going to play at the same level as they did last year, but I'll tell you what, if they even get close to that, this is going to be a very, very scary defense because we have replaced a lot of those guys with younger guys. Our defense is young. Our team is young.
Mm-hmm.
And if these guys pan out or play up to their potential, this is going to be a very scary defense. We have a lot of athletic. You start with Jahad Campbell. He's starting, and he's a monster from the door. You know what I'm saying? He is going to be a force to be reckoned with. We still have Nolan Smith out there that's still growing into his position, showed a lot of promise in yet last year's playoffs, postseason play. And I just, if these young guys play up to their potential, this defense may be scarier than last year, but it's a matter of when they start doing that.
Correct. Because Jahad Campbell was injuring players in training camp. He was injuring his own players in training camp. But you know what? Go back to the thing you talk about the age. They're the second youngest team in the NFL. Their average age is 25.49. Green Bay is the youngest team in the league. Speaking of Green Bay, shoot, never mind. Green Bay is the youngest team in the league. So that core of the youth that we have, those Georgia Bulldogs, those SEC guys, those Saquon Barkley, even though he's 27, going on about to go 28, Jalen Hurt going 27. These core guys are coming together, and they're putting together something that, you know, like AJ said, he wants to build a dynasty. So they're putting together something that could be a dynasty. But those missing pieces, those question marks, we have to see what can they answer those question marks during this game, at this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ray says, well, first of all, Nichelle says she was Jahad's team mom. Yeah, he's from Jersey. And we know you a Jersey girl. So Nichelle had with Jahad's team mom. Was he that was he that violent and athletic even back then? Because you know he's on full throttle in practice. They've got to slow him down before he puts our team out of service. Like from what I'm hearing, he's going full speed and he's smacking people. They were happy to get him. They were happy to get him in a preseason game so he could smack somebody else instead of smacking our own players. But I love that. I love to see that. And he, you know, I know that Abdul Carter was the top-rated pass rusher in this draft, but Jahad shows me a lot of similar traits, man. A lot of similar traits.
I think he's faster than Abdul, but Abdul has some remarkable pass rush ability. From the second that he stepped foot at State College, he was a monster. Jahad Campbell came into his own the minute he stepped into Alabama's Christmas Tide. Alabama. Like he was a monster from his first start. So yes, they have a lot of similarities. But the thing about Jahad is that he plays linebacker and he plays it at a pace that is reminiscent to a Ray Lewis, where he wants to have violence at every single go. Right? He wants to smack somebody, and we need that. And I'm happy that we got him. He's healthy. I don't know how he did this.
I know.
He's a top 10. He's a top 10, top 15 pick, and we still got arguably one of the best defensive players next to Abdul Carter in the draft. This is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, man. The rich get richer. I just hope he plays up to his potential. But this is what we have to go on with Vic's short tenure here.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of things that stand out to me. He played 2 rookies last year, started them. And they played, and they balled out. They played out of their mind, right? They showed that they belong in the starting lineup of an NFL team. Not only an NFL team, as we can look back now, a championship winning team. These 2 young guys came in and played up to that level. So I trust Vic Fangio's judgment of players. And now this year, he's putting 2 more rookies in the starting lineup, if I'm not mistaken, Jihad and Makuba. Right?
He's going to be rotated in. He's not starting. Sidney Brown is going to start, but he will
Okay,
be rotated in certain packages.
Okay, well,
Per
Jihad.
Jeff McClain.
Okay, all right. Well, that still says something that he's rotating the young guy in so early in his career, and he's starting Jihad Campbell. So that says a lot. The last time we see him, like I said, see him start defensive rookies, they were more than capable, and they actually were stars. They both wound up in the NFL's top 100. How about that? 2 rookies both showed up in the top 100 from the Eagles. And speaking of which, this will be a nice segue. Let me end the quarter though. Let's end the quarter.
Okay.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, so you are watching, listening to Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around, that's by us Eagles fans, for us Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, that is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Pat is doing the Woodford Reserve, the same drink that he did for the entirety of last year. And we see where that got us. That got us a Super Bowl ring. So Pat is going to be doing that. I've been talking so much, I didn't even take a chance to get something to drink. But anyway, you guys let me know what you're doing out there, and we're going to salute and get ready. We're pre-gaming for the Eagles. What do they call that? They call it the America's. I forget what they call the program, but
America's Game. America's Game.
So America's Game
The
on
2024 Philadelphia Eagles.
8:00 is going to do the Philadelphia Eagles, and we're going to get to see our team season from last year and then win it all. So I got my big bowl of popcorn ready to go, and we'll get you guys out of here at 8:00 so we can all sit down and watch it together. So here we go, down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
All right, so man, this preseason was eventful. We saw Lane Dickerson scare the hell out of us, right? When he had that knee injury. And all I kept thinking was like, oh, man, please don't let this happen before the season starts. He is a very integral part in our offense and our running game and the such. He's a monster. And
yeah, I saw something. I'm going to help you out with that one. He's such a monster that it was a stat out there that Saquon Barkley ran behind him 90% of the time last year, which is crazy.
Yep, because he know, giving a shout out to Shell. You talk about somebody that moves shit. Landon is somebody that moves shit. He moves shit. If you're standing in front of him and it's a run play, it's going to be some shit that's going to be moved by Landon. So it was a wise choice that Barkley chose to run behind him the majority of the time. And you saw what that led to, a 2,000-plus rushing yard season for Saquon Barkley, who wound up being the number 1 player out of the NFL tops 100. We
have our 12 players.
Boast that we had 9 players in the top 100, and I think that was appropriate. I mean, our team was awesome last year, the best Eagles team in the history of Eagles, I believe. That's my belief.
I have the order for you. You want to hear it?
Go ahead. What is it?
At 69, Jordan Mailata. At number 60, our rookie, Cooper DeJean, or DeJohn. At 49, Quinton Mitchell, or Quintamino Bay, whatever you want to call him. At 43, Jalen Carter. He's way too high. He should be much lower. At 29, A.J. Brown. 26, who is the first team All-Pro, Zach Bond. He should have been like in the teens. Lane Johnson at 23. He should have been in the teens. Jalen Hurts, number 19. And the number 1 overall player, of course, Dante just mentioned, Saquon Barkley.
And so 9 players in the top 100, 7 players in the top 50. That's incredible. 7 players in the top 50. That's incredible. And like
And
I
they miss
said,
it. They miss a Devontae Smith.
yeah. I thought he got jerked on that.
I mean, he didn't have a great season as far as statistical numbers, but he was injured a little bit of it, So we
Look,
can let him pass that. We can let
look,
him.
they put Dak up there. The WIP takes me out. The WIP, when they
Oh,
got
we're
to
not
the
going.
top 25, Jalen hadn't been named yet. And I understand that they're in the business of conjuring up material to talk about. But they did a question of the day or painted this picture. Jalen hasn't been named yet. And I don't know if he's going to be in the top 25 because I have 25 players that I can make a great case for being in the top 25. And if these 25 are there, then Jalen wouldn't make it. And I was looking like, this is BS. I mean, forget about the fact that he was the Super Bowl MVP because this was voted on in December. So he hadn't done it yet. So I get that. Forget all of that, though. When you look on the list, they had Dak Prescott. So he had to be in the top 25. There was no way in the world, no scenario I could see where you have Dak Prescott on the top 100 in a year that he was injured for about 80% of the year and not have Jalen Hurts. I was like, this is so bogus. If anybody with any brains calls into this show, that would be the first case I would make. He's going to be in the top 25 because Dak is on the list. And to that point, I started that rant because Devontae should be above Dak Prescott. Dak was hurt. He played like 4 games and he didn't play the rest of the year. How could he be in the top 100 and not Devontae Smith? Come on, man. Make it make
Yeah,
sense.
it does not make sense. Let me say it properly. It does not make sense. But you know what? It is what it is. It's motivation. Just like Jalen Hurts still has the screensaver on his phone of them losing the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. It's motivation, and I could see Devontae having a big year. I could see our whole offense because I do have a question mark about our offensive coordinator, but I don't have a question mark about Jalen Hurts. Right? You put the game into Jalen Hurts' hand. I feel confident that 2 years ago when he had Brian Johnson, he didn't have the game in his hands. Today, he has the game in his hand. He's a more experienced quarterback. He's a more confident quarterback. And he understands that if the pass game is not there, he's not selfish enough to try to force things, run the ball. And I love that about our quarterback. He has that mental fortitude that we look for who he's not an individual that wants to pad his stats. He just wants to get the W by any means necessary. And that's why I think Devontae, AJ, and even Saquon is going to have a big year because Jalen's going to unleash something that we haven't seen since 2022. And it's going to be a special year again.
And I echo a lot of what you're saying. The unknown, though, even with our spectacular quarterback, and I don't perceive this really happening, but winning does things to people. And we hope that he stays grounded. I mean, for every indication that he's given us so far, he is going to stay grounded. And what I mean by that is there's nothing wrong with trying to repeat what we did last year until somebody stops it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been that successful, right? Our running the ball or thinking run first has been that successful for us. Until somebody can consistently stop that aspect of our game, I think that should still be the basic game plan going to every game. It is to run the ball. And I'm not necessarily saying give Saquon the same amount of touches that you gave him last year because that was a heavy load that he had to carry. So we do have to think about the fact that, right. So we have to think about that, but we do have some great backups. I mean, you can use a 3-headed monster with the running back room we have to kind of save some of that wear and tear on him, right? So my thing, I brought this up because hopefully Jalen understands that too, and doesn't think that because of how they attacked Saquon in the Super Bowl that we've got to go away from Saquon and try to pass the ball all over the place. I say if this is a formula that has worked for us for the majority of last year, we continue with that formula until they stop it. we've seen, and I know we are far removed from the 90s, but we've seen teams in the 90s, San Fran, when they were running the West Coast, they passed the ball, and they didn't stop past the ball until somebody stopped it from basketball. You know what I mean? They did it every year until somebody stopped it. Dallas ran the ball with Emmitt Smith, and they didn't stop running the ball with Emmitt Smith until somebody stopped it, or until Emmitt and them got too old to be able to do that anymore. But
no, what's that offensive line with that? I'm gonna be honest with you. Emmitt Smith, the way he got what he got was because of that offensive line.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
All right, listen, he didn't get some games he didn't get touched into 5 yards after the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders, that's why I say always put Barry Sanders above him. Because Barry Sanders, when he got the ball, he got to make moves to get yards.
Right. He had to make moves to get to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, what I mean? That's why I always put him above Emmitt, because Emmitt benefited from a great offensive line. And that's what Saquon is doing right now. He's benefiting from a great offensive line. And this to see that is remarkable, because the hunger that this core has in them right now. They all wanted to go back to work. After the Super Bowl, it wasn't like they said it. They said, you know what? I'll work my butt off for this, but it wasn't just winning the Super Bowl. It was the journey.
Yeah.
So they're excited. 5 days later, AJ was back working. Lane Johnson, 3 days later, was back in Oklahoma lifting weights. Like, these guys are hungry to get back and put a dynasty on this team. And I saw a comment you had up there. I'm going to talk about it in a second.
Oh, yeah, Bickett. Let's talk about Bennett, because I like Bennett. And I think Bennett is going to be inserted in that starting lineup before long. I think the only reason why he's not there now, he just hasn't been here long enough to pick up the full scheme of the defense. But I like what I see out of him in the limited amount of snaps that I've seen him play. And he looked better to me than both Ringo and Adoree Jackson to me.
Ringo is going to be is a great special teams player. I don't think he's going to be a cornerback in the league. I think if he subdues his passion and moves to safety, he could be a great safety in this league. That's only if we need it.
Where? Whose spot he going to take? Because the young boy,
I'm just saying,
him penciled in unless he fall off.
For right now, just have him concentrate on special teams, because that's what he's great at. I'll be honest with you, that's what he's great at, special teams. Maybe he gets better at that cornerback position, and later down the road because he was a top cornerback in college football. He took the interception back to win, basically put a stamp on their national championship at Georgia. So it's a lot of tools we can work with Ringo, but right now he doesn't have it. Bennett, like you just said, he doesn't know this defense well yet. But once he gets up to speed, like we did with Cooper DeJean, remember last year, Cooper DeJean to get inserted to like the 4th game of the year, and next thing you know, this defense soared. I think this is going to happen this year. I think we're going to win, the first 3-4 games. We're going to come out sluggish. It's not going to look like we looked last year. Next thing you know, we're going to take off. But we got to end this quarter because it's getting close.
Yeah. All right. Let's end this quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right. You're watching Eagles Talk. We're back. The #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook. That's by us Eagles fans, for us Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. That is the Philadelphia Eagles, the world champion, Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. And we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Pat is doing the Woodford Reserve. I don't drink anymore, but I usually drink something. Oh, hun, you're there. Could you give me something to drink? Okay. All right. So here we down the hatch. Let me know what you're drinking out there. To our Philadelphia Eagles. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the 3rd quarter.
All right. So let's talk about the I had it on my tongue. All right. Well, then I guess let's talk about the matchup tomorrow night. We're talking about the Cowturds. We'll go deeper into it in the pregame tomorrow. But just off of briefly, what do you think of our chances tomorrow night?
I think our chances are more is bigger than everybody's making it out to be. I think a lot of the reporters are saying what we want to hear, how Dallas doesn't really stand a chance against us. But I think in reality, they really don't. I'll be honest with you. They're
Tell us how
bringing
you
back
really feel, man.
they're bringing back
Really don't.
these tackles that are trash. They retired some guys. Yes, they got George Pickens, who's a outstanding receiver. I ain't gonna hold you up for Pittsburgh. I wanted the Eagles to draft him. He was a Georgia Bulldog. He would fit this offense perfectly as a third receiver. But CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, they're the number one duo in NFL right now. As long as Dak Prescott, it has a clean pocket. That's the
You
key.
think so?
Clean pocket. Those two receivers can beat up on any cornerbacks in the league except for Q Mitchell. All right. But that being said, I say clean pocket.
Above our receivers, above
No, wait a
Cincinnati's.
minute. Wait a minute. I said clean pocket. I said that
All right.
for a reason. Because their offensive line is going to be put to a humongous test tomorrow. Yes, we don't have Josh Sweat. We don't have Brandon Graham. We don't have Marlon Williams, but we have some hungry dogs here. We got Jalen Carter, who's going to get paid $50 million a year. I don't care what anybody say. He's going to be on. He spoke about as one of the best defensive tackles to ever play in Philadelphia, next to Reggie White. All right, Jalen Hunt, right? Jalen Hunt, who played last year, who played out. He had a sack in the Super Bowl, right, and got fined in the Super Bowl for doing this bow and arrow. He got something to prove. Nolan Smith has something to prove.
Yeah, those guys are.
But wait, one minute. One person that I'm so happy with this offseason, Jordan Davis, who got into proverbial the best shape of his life, right? Who's going to play that position to the T. Then you got Moro Jomo.
I like Jordan. Don't get me wrong, but I'm sorry,
on,
Jordan. I'm sorry. I'm coming to the last 2 years hearing Jordan Davis is bound to have a breakout year. And
I didn't say breakout year. I didn't say he's going to have a good year.
All right, but
not a breakout year.
I need to see more.
Because we got some other guys. We got a good defensive line. They're untested, but we got a good defensive line. And if they say true to what Vic Fangio is preaching and our defensive line coach are preaching, that should help our back seven. That should help our back four. Right? Adoree Jackson is going to get tested every single game because they're going to look at they're going to look at Mitchell and say we're not going to go on that side because we know what he can do. They're going to look at Cooper DeJean. We're not going to go that side. We know what he can do. What can Adoree Jackson do? All right, they're going to test him until he get replaced with Bennett. All right,
well,
they're going to test our safety. They're going to test our safety. Cindy Brown, he got to be controlled. Got to be controlled.
I want to get you guys included in the conversation as we do. That's what makes us unique. Myron Bennett says, "Welcome back, Eagles Talk." Thank you. We're glad to be back. Eddie says, "We are back." Yes, we are back, Eddie.
Yes.
And it's good to hear from you. I guess Eddie was talking about my logic of Devontae Smith should be above Dak. But no, Pickett, no. is much more talented and skilled than Pickett. And for that reason alone, I just think that Devontae should have been in there over Dak. I mean, Dak. Oh, again, I do have to keep in mind that this was voted on in December of last year. So that probably played a big role in it. Don Petit says, "You can't be great without the greatness of others." Nick Sirianni. I've used in some of my in some of my speaking. But yeah. So Brad Mitchell, a major plus that nobody's talking about is all of Fangio's coaches are coming back. And that's the key thing right there. Because we talk about coaching staff, and I don't know if we give enough credit to the coaching staff, especially those under the coordinators. We give the coordinators a lot of credit, but those position coaches are key and so valuable to a team, and especially to our team with a lot of young players. You can have all the best talent in the world, but if you don't have the coaches to help develop them, because not everybody that comes into the league is a finished product. They need their position coaches on the pro level to help teach them how to be a pro and how to play the pro game. So those positions are just as important as the D coordinator, offensive coordinator. And we have a group of excellent assistant coaches, of position coaches, and you can see by the play of their units on the field that they're doing a heck of a job. And if they get Jordan Davis to play up to his potential this year, then they deserve even more credit for the job that they're doing with the units that they control.
I want to say this before we get out of here. We got a lot of people that we didn't mention. And shout out to my wife. Happy anniversary, babe. Tomorrow we will be at the game. We will be in the lower bowl. Yes, we will be close to the field watching the game tomorrow. So I will not be on, unfortunately, unless we do a correspondence from the field or from the tailgate. Like we used to do. I remember we used to do that in 2017. That was the jam, man. And then our first full year together, because 2016 we was together, but we wasn't fully together. But Dante, man, I appreciate you, sir. I know you're my family, and I gotta throw it out there, but I appreciate you for doing what you're doing. It was 2.5 years ago. You put the drink down. You haven't turned back. And has done you wonders, sir. I appreciate you, man. You are a role model to everybody out there, and now you're a motivational coach. Like I say, you want to give people their flowers that deserve it. I want to give you your flowers now, sir. And I want to say the same thing to Nicole. I shouldn't Nicole. Nichelle. She's doing big things in her community. Shout out to you, Nichelle. I know you're a very busy individual. Thank you for doing what you're doing for our community. Please continue doing what you do. As I move around and move up, if I can be any of assistance for any of y'all, please let me know. And again, shout out to my wife. Happy anniversary, babe.
Hey, thank you, man. We really appreciate it. I appreciate the attention or the recognition, but do it for the people, man. I just have affinity to help people to be the best that they could be. And we give you a shout out also. We don't forget you did, you and your organization did great work in the community, and that's what it takes. And that's what we're about. We're not just about Eagles talk. We do come out and help our community. So with that being said, we're going to let you guys go so you can go watch America's game and watch our Philadelphia Eagles, the feature of tonight, and them recap our Super Bowl winning season from last year. I'm going to get my popcorn. Pat is going to go enjoy his seafood, and you guys go and enjoy America's game tonight. And tune in tomorrow because we'll still be here. Pre-game starts an hour before kickoff. So tune in tomorrow, and we'll be ready to kick off the season with you. Eagles Talk, we're back. So we're out, man. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.